Hello everyone, welcome back to another math lesson. And this is actually going to be our last math lesson together for third grade because next week is our last week of school. So you're going to do some fun wrap-up activities for third grade, and there will be no instruction for the last week. So this is our last week of videos, our last week of homework technically, and then your last week will have some extra fun stuff to do. But yeah, this is our last math lesson together. Can you guys believe it? It has been a crazy year, but it's been such a fun year for me to be your teacher and teaching you math, and we learned so much. You should be so proud of yourself, especially after the last 2 months of watching videos and doing online school. You guys really blew me away. Give yourselves a round of applause, pat on the back. You should be so proud of yourselves, and you are so ready for fourth grade. So I'm so excited for you. So proud of you all. And it's almost summer, so lots of things are exciting, but also at the same time, it's kind of sad in a way. So let's make the most of our last 2 weeks together, our last week of math, and it'll be great. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about fractions of a group, which is 8.7. We did not get to finish chapter 8, which is okay. We got as far as we could, and we actually dug in very deep to chapter 8, so you guys will be all set for next year. And your math books will be sent home with you, so if you really want to practice this summer, you can. If not, you can just play school with it, or it could be another book in your library, but you have your math books now once you come and pick them up with the rest of your books on Friday. Okay, fractions of a group. So that means we're figuring out what the fraction is within a group. So get your paper, pencils, markers, crayons, pencils, colored pencils, whatever you need, and we will take notes on 8.7. What fractions of the marbles are blue? Okay, so we are figuring out what fraction, so I am going to have a numerator and a denominator. What fraction of these marbles are blue? Okay, what am I going to do first? I need to figure out how many marbles I have total. And my total number is always going to go on the bottom as my denominator. So what fraction of the marbles are blue? We'll figure out how many marbles you have first. So let's count how many marbles we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is my numerator. It'll go on the bottom. Then I need to figure out how many are blue. 1, 2, 3. So 3 of the 8 marbles, this is the way we can check it. 3 of the 8, 3/8 are blue. And is that correct? 1, 2, 3. 3 of the 8 are blue. That makes sense. Okay, this one on the bottom shows bags of marbles or equal groups of marbles. In this case, I need to figure out how many groups I have total. So if I'm figuring out groups, I'm going to be counting each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is my denominator because that tells me how many groups of marbles I have total. Okay, then I'm figuring out what fraction are blue. So how many of these groups are blue? That's not blue, that's not blue, that's blue, and that's not blue. So 1 of the 4, or 1/4 of these bags of marbles are blue, right? So that makes sense. 1 of these 4 are blue. So 1/4 of those marbles are blue, and then 3/8 of those are blue. Okay, let's try this one. What fraction of the counters are purple? Okay, so I need to have my fraction bar. Draw my fraction bar right there. Okay, I need to figure out how many I have total. How many counters do I have total? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total. 8's going to be my denominator. And then how many are purple? Okay, so not those. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is my numerator. It tells me 5 of the 8 total are purple. So there's 8 total, and only 5 of them are purple. Sometimes fractions can be greater than 1, which means, in our last video, we talked about how any number over itself equals 1. So 4/4 equals 1. 2/2 equals 1. 7/7 equals 1. Sometimes the number on top, the numerator, is going to be bigger than the denominator, and that means it's going to be a bigger number than 1. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay, so let's read our question here. Daniel collects baseballs. He collected 8 so far. He puts them in cases that hold 4 baseballs each. What part of the baseball cases has Daniel filled? Okay, let's figure out how many he has filled. Let's go back to our problem. He's collected 8 so far, so he's got 8 baseballs. He puts them in cases that hold 4 baseballs each. So what's going to go in each case? 4 baseballs are going to go in each case. I'm just going to draw circles. Okay, so I have 8 baseballs total, 4 in one case, 4 in another case. What's going to be my whole number here? How many cases do I have total? 1, 2. 2 equals what? Okay, well, when I'm talking about my denominator, that just means I'm looking at one group. So denominator just wants you to tell them how many are in one group. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in one group, so that's my denominator. And how many I have total? Numerator leaves nothing behind. It counts everything. So I have 4, and I have another 4, which means I have 8. So I have 8 fourths, and that equals 2. 8 over 4, 8 divided by 4 equals 2. It checks. It makes sense. Let's try another one where it's going to be a fraction greater than 1, which means the numerator is going to be bigger than the denominator. Okay, so I have pans right here. I have 1, 2, 3 pans. It says think. 1 pan equals 1, so which means 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put my 3 right here. Okay. I need to write another way to say 3 or fraction for 3. So remember, denominator is just going to look at 1 pan. So let's cover up the other ones. Let's cover them so we don't get distracted. Okay, let's just look at 1 pan. How many are on 1 pan? 2, 4, 6. So 6 is going to be my denominator because I have 6 on 1 pan. My numerator leaves nothing behind. It counts everything that you're looking at. So I have 6, 12, 18. So my fraction for this picture is 18 sixths, okay? Which also equals 3. 18 divided by 6 equals 3. Okay, a few more. Let's try this one. I have boxes of markers, let's say. So I have, just think 1 box equals 1. So I have 1, 1, 2. So let's write 2. Or what would my fraction be? Well, denominator only look at 1. Okay, oops. It just says what on this paper. So I'm looking at 1 box. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is going to be my denominator. Numerator leaves nothing behind. It counts everything. So I have 8. If I have another box of that, I have 16. So I have 16 eighths. So basically each of these are an eighth, and I have 16 of them total. 16 eighths is also 2. 16 divided by 8 equals 2. So did you see how it's greater than 1 because the number on top is bigger than the number on the bottom, and that equals 2. So if I'm thinking about, I'll show you. If I'm thinking about this fraction right here, 8 over 8, what is that going to equal? What whole number would that equal? If you said 1, you're correct. 8 over 8 is going to equal 1. So it makes sense that 16 over 8 equals 2 because 8 doubled is 16, right? So 8 over 8 equals 1. 16 over 8 is going to equal 2. Okay, this is going to be the last example we're going to try, and then you're going to do these, share what you know or on your own, and then you're going to do the homework page, okay? Which have all the same kind of problems on there. Write a fraction that names the green part of each group, okay? So here is my group. It wants to know the fraction of the green part. So first I need to figure out my denominator, which is my bottom number. How many do I have total? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is my total number, my denominator. And then how many are green? 1, 2 are green. So 2/4 of these counters right here are green. 2 of the 4 makes sense, or half of them. Okay, when we are giving groups like this, we are counting the groups. We're not going to count each individual one. We're just going to count the groups. So we have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups total. So 3 is my denominator. And how many of these groups, how many are green? Nope. This one's green, right? So 1 of the 3 groups, or 1/3, are green. All right, good job, you guys. We did a few examples. If you need any extra help, or you still are confused on something, please let me know. I can direct you in the right way, or do a Zoom with you, or talk you through it, whatever you need. But good luck on this week's work. You got a couple more days, and then it's our last week of school, and then you're 4th graders. So hang in there, you guys. Great job. Proud of you as always, and I will talk to you guys soon.